Hello, one and all. Welcome back. Back once again. D4 Damager, Power to the People. What was the other one? Return of the Mac. I can't remember the words of that song. I remember the Return of the Mac.
Just as well, really. Or we could
have what you just suggested.
In keeping with what we do, and that was the Return of by Knuckle Dust. That
dun, 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 dun.
Infamous London hardcore band.
There will be a British Steel episode coming out with them soon. I did lose track of Knuckle Dust, actually. I've got the... I'll show off some gems that I've got, what I bought about 100 years ago when I was young and good looking. And but yeah, I did lose track with them, got to admit. But I think I can put a good video out about them. And the singer Pierre is in a new band now with Nick Barker.
Fucking
hell. That should be interesting. Yeah, Nick Barker. Well, he likes a bit of hardcore, Nick. He did that grindcore band, didn't he? Lock Up for a couple of years. That's a bit of a super group. It's like a who's who of death metal.
Oh, right.
But yeah, he's doing a hardcore band with a couple of other people I recognise as well. I saw Wemmer is in a new band as well, but I didn't like to look at him. It might as well have been a garage act. But yeah, I'm probably going to have the LBU smashing my door in now. But there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
technically, you're almost London, being where you are. You just catch
I know.
That bus.
I'm the EBD.
The EBD,
yeah. So anyway, welcome to Maidencast, everyone, where we go through an album per week, going through the Iron Maiden back catalogue, covering all the little nooks and crannies and crevices in between, including solo albums, side projects, and all the rest of it. We've got about easily a good dozen shows left to do, yet only 3 Iron Maiden albums. But we had a short break. Luke, the selfish bastard, went on holiday. How dare you? And I had to go away for a couple of days as well. But we're back. We're putting this out not on a Friday. We're going to put it out a bit early because of the delay, but we'll be back next Friday as usual. We'll be doing a matter of life and death. But today we are doing Tyranny of Souls by Bruce Dickinson. The album that he managed to squeeze in on his free time on the Dance of Death tour at some point. Is did you watch the interview with him on the DVD?
No, I still haven't got around to watching it. It's on the shelf, but
yeah, it's a this was a leisurely album. This was
yeah, I've read the thingies of it. It was
Roy Z basically just sent him demos and said, "What do you think of that?" He said at the time all he had was guitar, had no drums, no thingy, and he said, "Yeah, well, don't worry about that." And he went, "Yeah, well, I need to know the rhythm." So
that's it, so I can get singing and all that.
And when he heard the final mix, he had these great keyboards in the mix, and he said the drummer was fantastic. And never met him, and he went,
it's a different drummer, isn't it?
Yeah, so, and he said this drummer is fucking brilliant. He went, "Who is he?" Thinking he was going to say a name that I would instantly recognise, and Roy said, "Oh, he's just a mate."
Yeah, he's just one of the Tribe of Gypsies boys. You know, it's not the same guy who.
He just knows so many people, and he always gets the right person for the job on that time. But yeah, the way he just went, "Yeah, my mate." So yeah, that make you depressed, wouldn't it? Just some mate can come in and do a world class.
Yeah, because the drumming on this album is one of the high points. It's
he does talk quite in depth actually about the Tribe of Gypsies, but he says he hears the CD and he saw them live and he was blown away by how good they were and took their CD to Rod. And it was Rod that eventually put out the first album. But if you look, that first album came out quite late, like sort of 96. So it was long after Balls to Picasso had come out.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering,
it's a couple of years, isn't it?
Is that the album that he heard and went, "You've got to," and then pushed the band, or did they record something afterwards that was an album? So I wonder what happened to that CD that Bruce originally heard.
Yeah, it's got to be out there somewhere, isn't it?
Unless it is that album. Did they just put it out? I don't know. But, anyway. Yeah, so this one is just Roy Z and Bruce mainly. No Adrian, none of the other guys. I just want to show you off some cool artwork. I think we're carrying on with the William Blake theme.
Yeah, it does look. I haven't seen the sleeve artwork, but the front artwork definitely looks that way.
Yeah, Hans Memling, the mouth of the Leviathan, panel of the politic of vanity, reproducing by kind commission of the. Yeah, so it's not William Blake, but you kind of get the same feeling.
Yeah, it's all that
the Chemical Wedding,
that Dante fucking Canterbury Tales type stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got the some pretty cool illustrations here as well, and this one looks pretty cool on the CD. I think that's some sort of. I don't want to say what it is actually, because if I can have a good guess, but if I get it wrong, I end up with egg on my face. So, yeah. But and then there's this as well on the inside cover, which I think is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, definitely went all out on it, didn't he?
He says in the interviews as well that he does see this as part of the conclusion of the trilogy. So it is Accident of Birth, Chemical Wedding, and this. Well, it can be a trilogy, but trilogies are complete, and he's never done another album since. So I suppose we can.
Although he did promise us one, didn't he, at the book tour thing?
Yeah, exactly. And every time he writes anything for Iron Maiden, he goes,
that
was meant to be on my next solo album, and then it ends up on an Iron Maiden. So.
If Eternity Should Fail, wasn't it? That was the
start.
Yeah,
but if Eternity Should Fall and come on, the 20-minute epic, what's it called?
Empire of
the Clouds.
That was never going to be solo material. That was always Maiden.
Do you think
it was If Eternity Should Fail, because he had all that spoken word bit at the end, which was setting up a character. He was going to do a concept album about the guy who sucks fucking souls or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Thing is, they could have done If Eternity Should Fail and cut that bit off, and he still could have had that concept. But because they left it on there, they can't use the concept now without severe tweaking.
Unless he continues it on the next album. Does like one or two. It's being done. I mean, a bit late in the day to be doing something like that, but because every album is a bonus.
I reckon they've got the next two albums written and recorded. Because in '76 they're coming up. Well, in 26 that'll be 50 years, and I reckon that's when they'll call it quits.
Well, yeah, but they can do that if they do a Deep Purple, where Deep Purple literally go, we're not going to announce a last tour. Just see us if and when you can. We're going to run this until the wheels fall off, basically. Yeah. So we're going to do 12 shows, presume they're the last ones. And if we feel like we're up to another 12, we'll do it. And that's basically they're going out 2 weeks at a time. And they're like, just see us if you can. And then when it ends, it ends. But with that, they've done about 3 albums. But they've been doing them 1 a year.
Yeah.
This every 5 year bollocks, quality over quantity and all that, but I'd rather a couple more Maiden albums between now and the inevitable than the endless tour. I know lockdown has an help.
I wish when the Legacy of the Beast thing, I wish they'd said, the dates that all got rescheduled, I wish they said, sorry guys, we've played pretty much everywhere we could with this. Pandemic fucked it all up. We're now going to crack on with album number fucking whatever it is.
Which I don't 17. Think anyone would have begrudged.
No, album 17. Yeah. Let's get it out there. Nico's on his deathbed. He can't go much longer. Let's fucking get it out there and let the next tour, next time you see us, we'll be playing new material. And everyone would have gone, fucking yes, all right, go Legacy of the Beast, but new album.
Yeah, and Legacy of the Beast. Now
it's fucking 2022 and they're still doing Legacy of the Beast. Then it's like, I'm going to die before they do.
Yeah. And what was the tour before then as well, like between the albums? They did the one where they basically recreated Live After Death, and then they did the other one where they recreated the Seventh Son tour.
Yeah,
and it's those tours do just go on forever.
Yeah,
and it is like
that's what everyone wants is the old stuff. And it's like, oh look,
they were always we are not a nostalgic band.
Yeah,
so. And
no, but that's why they did it, wasn't it? They did right. We're going to do these tours for the Gumbies, and then when we do the new album tour, it's going to be 6-7 songs off the new album, and
the official line was, "This is for the people that didn't see it because we've got a lot of the younger fans.
Yeah.
They're seeing. I mean, you can. That's. I guess that's with a nod and a wink.
Yeah.
And I suppose that covers all bases. But those tours do go on a lot longer than they have to.
Yeah, big time. And I just want a new album. Knowing that it's done. It's been recorded for a long fucking time because they were in Paris with old Kevin Shirley. That was all over his Instagram, or not that Maiden were there, but he was in Paris.
Maybe they were recording the Smith
south of France. You know, it's
album. The new British Lion album.
No, you're right. Don't want to give Wayne
Shirley
spoilers
recorded
when we get round to that, but no.
And he did, and it might be doing the Smith Kotzen thing. It might have been that they were recording.
No, they recorded that in the Turks and Caicos Islands, didn't they? So that's fucking the other side of the world.
Oh, right, I didn't realise that.
They were all in Paris, you know, and that's the only place that made them record in Paris. That's where they did Brave New World, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, the album's done. It's just fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'll forgive them is if they end off Legacy of the Beast with the fucking orchestral show at the Royal Albert Hall. That's the only way they'll be forgiven. Yeah,
it's got to be done. An orchestral show. Just do a week or whatever, or do like 2 weeks in London and then a week in Paris. Let everyone fly to you. And or don't do a tour with it. Just do a series of residencies.
Yeah,
is what they should do.
I mean, Metallica did it. Well, the first time Metallica did it, they did it in San Francisco. Then they did one in Germany. So you had Europe, you had America.
I'm sure they did one in Paris as well.
No, it was only Germany.
XFM. There was it was XFM. Did a competition. It was Ian Canfield. He went, "You'll get a ticket. You'll be sitting next to me. I'm going. You'll be sitting with me. 2 tickets, and we'll be going together." That was a competition. Definitely one in Paris.
Well, they've already dropped hints, haven't they? Fucking Adrian Smith said like the stuff we're working on at the minute will blow people's minds and all that, and we've got some really exciting news and all this. And it's like, well, fucking tell us.
Yeah, I know, but the carrot is constantly being dangled, and the goalposts are constantly being moved, and those who are to blame are constantly avoiding it. So, you know. Anywho, in the meantime, we've got plenty of shows to do between now and then. So, and who knows? By the time we get through them all, we might actually get some news. Let's go through the lineup quickly, actually, because it is. So it is basically just Bruce and Roy.
There's a couple of bass players, isn't there? Like bass player plays on tracks 1 to 2, and
Roy does a bit of bass as well. But you've got Ray Geezer Burke primarily. You've got 2 tracks by Jean Perez, Dave Marino on drums, and Maestro Miseria. I mean, the fact that someone's first name's Maestro makes me wonder: is this a? Dave Marino is currently in Puddle of Mud and Tribe of Gypsies. He was in Love Hate. And he was on one of Rob Rock's solo albums, whoever he is. And let's have a look at this Maestro Miseria. I think that is how you pronounce that. Oh, no. Yeah, he's real. Atlantica. Miss Feria. Oh, right. So that's his. It must be like a solo project thing. Vivaldi metal project. It looks like he does a lot of classical, but kind of metal. Yeah, nothing that's on my radar anyway. Nothing off the top of my head anyway. Let's see. The guest session normally it all comes out on that. He's done quite a lot, but I've not heard of any of it. Yeah. Winterlong. That rings a bell. Winterlong. No, it looks like he does a lot of like symphonic stuff as well. And yeah, he's from Italy. Italian. Italian musicians do tend to be quite prolific. They're a little bit like electricians. They're here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, so let's get into the music then, I guess. You've been listening to the album. I mean, I don't know, you probably have the same as me. There wasn't a lot of promotion with this album.
It was like, oh, here it is.
I didn't even see any interviews in the press at the time. I just saw a couple of reviews. It was kind of Bruce Dickinson, yeah. and that was that.
Yeah, no, I ain't been funny. There's a reason why it probably weren't promoted. You know, I don't want to give, give stuff away, but it's got itch scratching exercise written all over it for me.
Okay.
Even the way Roy goes, all right, Bruce, yeah, I've got some riffs. Not like I've worked on some songs. I've just got some riffs. You want to do something with them? I just need to get them out. I need to clear out the recycle bin. You know, do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Well, as we go through, there's some fucking brilliant ideas, as there always would be, coming from Roy Z.
But you think it would have been a better album if everyone was in a studio jamming together, writing
together?
Yeah,
or if they actually said, right, in the Maiden downtime, Bruce was like, you know what? Once this tour's done, I'm having a year off. I don't want to see none of you. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Which he's got the right to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it would have worked. It would have worked better.
Flying planes and doing a maintenance company and.
Yeah, mind you, to be fair, he's probably flying refugees about money and all that. So.
Well, he was.
Don't really have spare time, does he?
He's like a CEO of a plane maintenance.
Yeah, one of the like fucking they fly. They operate out of Iceland, I think.
I don't know. I saw something the other day where he's had a photo of all the apprentices. So
yeah,
he's employing people. That's the best.
Yeah, no, he's not being he's doing it.
I know he did that thing as well where he did that blimp that would carry water and and that kind of fell on its face, and a lot of people were fucking laughing at it. And it was like, well, he put his money where his mouth was.
Yeah, that's it.
It wasn't exactly it was a noble thing he was trying to do.
Yeah, how can you take the piss out of someone for trying to do some good? Fucking hell. Well, that's the world we live in now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But there you go. So, yeah, if you don't want anything more to add, we'll get into
no, just, obviously, the production's great. Obviously, we know Roy Z can produce the shit out of an album.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more prevalent today, though. I mean, you see a lot of this. You see it a lot now. You see like this super group, the guitarist from this band, the singer from that band, and it is just a copy and paste job. And yeah, you do get some good music, you do get some good, good albums. But again, I just can't see how. And it also, band after band after band, very, very rarely would you say a band that's been going 20 years plus, say, will you say the last two albums are the best thing they ever did? Hand on heart. I mean, you probably could some, but you have to count it on one hand. And I think that is a lot to do with the first couple of albums, everyone's together.
Yeah.
The last couple of albums, it's all here, there and everywhere.
Yeah, I live in LA, he lives in Australia, he lives in London.
I mean, you only have to look at, the last couple of Slayer albums. It was, for all the shit he gets, Kerry King is the only one that actually gave a shit towards the end. We all know that. Yeah. And the first five albums, they're all together. Everything else was done in shifts. Divine Intervention was. I reckon Tom just used to turn up and do the vocals. He didn't even play bass on them.
He weren't into it for a long time, was he? I mean, and if it weren't for Tom, they'd be writing a new album now.
It'd be and it was probably making too much money. It was too big to quit. He was like, well, if I quit, do what?
Yeah.
Form a new band. Yeah, what, and play clubs like everyone else does. Yeah, no, might as well crack on.
Yeah.
But, I think that has a lot to say for it. Is this? I actually enjoy this album. I'm suspecting a bit more than you do, but we'll get into that. But I will concede, it probably would have been a better album if it was concentrated on. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously, track one, Mars Within, sort of just an atmospheric, but sort of ultimately pointless sort of intro, really.
Yeah, it's not as if it leads into the song, does it?
No, Bruce is doing his sort of speaking thing, so I imagine he's setting the tone for some form of loose concept through the album. We all know the way Bruce's mind works. There's always something linking to something else. But it's just a weird thing, and this sort of sets the tone where it's just like it's just some ideas. Just fucking drag them onto the thing. That's it. Burned. There you go. And it.
Yeah.
See, if they'd have started with Abduction, well, that sets a whole different tone.
Yeah, if you just put the CD in, play, you hear the things spinning around, all of a sudden, bam, 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 yeah.
That song is a fucking beast.
Yeah.
It's a beast. It's one of his best ever solo songs. It's 1,000 times better than King and Crimson, which for me sets Chemical Wedding off all wrong.
Mm.
This song is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that fucking riff and kicks in, to this awesome verse. And that bridge bit, when we first hear the drummer, boom, double kicks.
When he does the double kick bit
really
at the end of the chorus, yeah.
It's like, fucking hell. Where's this geezer been?
Yeah.
Now, this song is brilliant.
Yeah, it's definitely the heaviest thing he's ever recorded.
Yes, big time. And that's saying something when you got Chemical Wedding.
Yeah, but again, I think that comes down to the drummer. Because, again, you've got that nice crunchy driving riff.
How often do I say it?
Yeah.
You look through history, you look at all these bands, and they upgrade their drummer, and all of a sudden, it's like different. Look at Testament.
Oh, yeah.
Louis Clemente on those first 6 albums, he knows that. He knows how to play drums. I'm not saying he can't drum, but the minute they get John Tempesta in, below, fucking hell, hang about.
It's like upgrading a car, isn't it?
Yeah.
As soon as you go up one, you go, oh, well, I can't go back.
No, that's it. And it gives the guitarist so much more scope to be able to do shit because they know they're going to lock in tight.
Yeah.
It's like Fear Factory. Can you imagine Fear Factory with a drummer other than Raymond Herrera?
Funny enough, I
know they had Gene Hoglan and all that later on.
That was something I meant to mention to you. Yeah, check the new album out. I think you'll be surprised. I wasn't expecting much.
Yeah. And
I did think I was pleasantly, it made me go,
yeah,
a couple of times. Oh, take note of that. We'll come back to that one later. It was plenty of moments like that. I've only listened to it once, mind, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by the new Fear Factory album. Bit of a shame that it all went to shit.
Well, it went to shit before it, didn't it? This was put out to pay the bills.
They're releasing an album with Burton on vocals, and he's not even in the promo photos. And
that's it.
Him and Dino want to kill each other. But yeah, it's a shame because it's a Fear Factory album. It's a Fear Factory doing Fear Factory. What they're good at. They're not trying. They're doing.
Yeah.
You know when you just need an album from a band of them being them.
Yeah.
You've got that on this new one. So yeah, watch this space. I'll probably cover it a bit further later down the line. Yeah. Abduction note. Yeah, I say you got that nice thick, chunky driving riff that Roy Z always comes up with. During, Bruce always lifts stuff with his vocals. Yes. He just knows how to carry a melody that's, he knows how to soar over the music, but he also knows how to include the music. Some singers...
Yeah, he does. He's a master at it. That's why he's one of the best.
And then it comes to that chorus, you've got the nice little maiden-y, what do you want from me? It's about... Have you ever seen the video to this, by the way?
I haven't, no.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's Bruce being abducted by aliens and he's running away from them, and it's literally people in alien masks running after him. It's like the worst B movie ever, and it knows it. It's a fun video, yeah, good. It's really, you gotta watch it. It's fucking
yeah, I'll check it out.
And yeah, just and it just goes into this shredding bit, and you think, fuck, now where did that come from?
Yeah, I know.
And then we get, we're back in the beginning. World class solo section as well.
As ever.
Yeah.
This song reminds me a bit of Kill and Destroy from Blaze off of second album. It sets that tone. It's just a fucking full on metal song. Boom. We play metal. This is what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I love songs like that. No fucking about. No, we do a bit of this and we're gonna do a bit of this. No, we're doing this. No frills. Just fucking Roy Z going, right, this is what I'll do. You want some of it? Here we go.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. It should set the tone. Unfortunately, it doesn't for me. But as a way to start an album, forget the intro. That don't even exist.
Yeah. No,
but this is probably, the best album opener he's ever done. Freak was pretty good. But this is like fucking hell. Yeah, if I was doing the ultimate Bruce Dickinson album, this is track one.
This is track one.
No fucking about. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a set list as well. That'd be a good. thingy opener. I always thought it was an odd opener. It did work, in all fairness, but I did think it was an odd choice to open with Walls of Jericho. Trumpets of Jericho.
Yeah, it is a Trumpets of Jericho. Yeah, Walls of Jericho. That's a different band.
That's Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, moving on then to Soul Intruders. Let's see if this is the. I'm interested to see where you think the cliff fall is. This starts off nice and shreddy as well.
Yeah, more double kick. I mean, our Dave Moreno is
nice bit of Megadeth riffing as well.
Yes, yeah. There's definitely Roy Z is definitely putting his influences on his sleeve on this album. Like so, you've already mentioned Maiden. There's a couple of Maiden bits. I mean, there wouldn't be if you're writing songs for Bruce Dickinson vocals. It must be difficult not to default to Maiden.
Whenever there's a bit of twin melody, a bit of melody in with the riffs, it'll all be Maiden anyway, because that's really what they. Yeah. Not exclusively them, but it was.
No, I mean Thin Lizzy invented it, but
and then of course Priest did it.
They took it to the fucking next level,
and it was all the thrash bands. Maiden was one of their influences, especially like them and the first two Maiden albums and Angel Witch. That was what separated thrash from punk, for example.
Yeah, you can hear it on all the early stuff, can't you?
Let's take the obnoxiousness and the chaos and the aggression of punk and the speed. So like Discharge and Motorhead. Motorhead were another good balance. But yeah, you can still play fast, but keep melody in there, and that was Angel Witch and Maiden, definitely. Because you could go on all day with that one, but I think that's the two main pillars of it all.
That's it.
So if you're writing in that way, it's just default, isn't it? It's
of course
not even.
But I mean, but again, this helps when like I say, I go back. It helps that he's got, not the drummer on the last Bruce Dickinson solo album wasn't good, but old Dave Moreno, he take a bow, son, because he elevates, he does more with the riffs. He gives more life, more body to them.
Yeah.
And it helps. I mean, this song I think is a bit more formulaic than Abduction. It's just sort of metal by numbers, but still a catchy chorus. And
I think this would fit on Chemical Wedding.
Yeah, Bruce. Bruce's voice is better than ever, as you would expect, because he's obviously where he's been back with Maiden. He's no longer that sneering Bruce that was doing No Prayer and Fear of the Dark.
Yeah,
he's gone up to This Is Me, Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah,
and there ain't many you can even now.
No, that's true. Yeah, he's one of the few vocalists as well that's got better with age, I think.
He always had it there. Look at Book of Souls. I mean, the geezer had he had a tumour on his tongue when he was recording that, and that's possibly one of his finest vocal performances ever in the studio.
But not in that, it's just as a performer as well. He when he says you see like a picture of a frontman like in sort of mid, head shake, hair everywhere, screaming. Yeah. And he said, you look in the album covers and you think that's what they're like the whole time. But when you go see him, it's like, no, Ozzy might jump about at the beginning, but then for the rest of the show, he's like that.
He's holding the mic, yeah.
And he went, I try and keep that going throughout the show. So I'm over there, then I'm over here. And
yeah, I mean, how many videos have you seen on YouTube of him fucking slipping arse over tit and landing on his fucking arse?
Yeah.
Where he's trying to do shit.
Yeah.
He is a performer, and that is the best way to describe him.
Yeah. No, I think Soul Intruders keeps things on quite nicely. I think there's
I think it dips a little bit, but
the whole album really is just a riff machine because there's so much going on riff-wise. I like that little climbing interlude before the chorus, like dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it leads into a good.
Leading to that bam 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 bam. With that big soaring chorus. Yeah. There's no point in me saying it over and over again. Just assume that every song on this does have a godlike solo.
Oh yeah, the geezer's a savage, isn't he? I mean,
yeah. We'll just tick that box now. Just assume every. Give every song like an extra 2 points for the solos alone. Yeah. And I think this is a good second track. This just keeps the first track just takes you there. This one just sort of maintains what's been placed in.
Yeah, for me, I think it struggles because the shadow of the Abduction cast is so considerable. As a fact, it's like one of his best ever solo songs. Any song following it would struggle to be noticed. But no, like you say, it is a good song, and it like you say, it ticks all the boxes. Like strong, catchy riffs, good chorus, fucking blinding solos. It's all good.
Yeah, cool. Right, moving on. Kill Devil Hill.
Yeah,
Rex Brown's other band.
Yeah.
That first album is very good, by the way. I never really got into the second one, but that first album.
Oh no, they were pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you know this Kill Devil Hill was the town where the Wright brothers performed the first controlled powered flight?
Oh, flight.
Yes.
Not something Bruce.
They chose it. That's why obviously he's picked the title for whatever. But yeah, apparently they chose it. It had good wings or something where it was. So that's why they chose that place to get him off the ground, so to speak. But yeah, just a little fact.
Yeah, it is always fascinating when you look at those early attempts at getting it off the ground. It's like, yeah, you could die, but
that's it, isn't it?
But you will go down in history if you don't.
Literally like Icarus, isn't it? Don't fucking go too high.
Yeah. So, no, I think this is a good little stomper as well.
Yeah, I like this one.
A nice it's one of those. It certainly rocks, but it also fucking rolls. This has just got a nice rhythm on this song.
Yeah, no, I do like it. It's this is the chorus is very Maiden as well.
Yes.
And I don't know, did you notice the keyboards in the background?
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to come to at some point as well. There's a beautiful little sort of piano solo on this, actually, rather than a guitar solo.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? At the back,
keyboards as well.
It's like that interlude. It's piano and keyboard together, and then it goes into that beautiful bit of lead.
I think, a lot of people that going on about keyboards in metal, do keyboards belong in metal? It's like, it's not so much they don't belong in metal. It's just some bands do get a keyboard player, and that they do insist on letting you know they're there.
Well, it's like
so a lot of them do have a lot of unnecessary.
Europe. Final Countdown or Dream Theater. As much as I love some of Dream Theater's musical ideas and that, I wish the keyboard player would do one.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be that prevalent. I know they're trying to say like he's in the band and all that, but
Faith No
keyboards can overpower.
Well, but even then, there are some songs where there are no keyboards, and the keyboard player will just get a guitar out and just back them up.
Just play the root notes.
Yeah. But yeah, this stuff like this though is when you need it. It
adds atmosphere, doesn't it?
It just adds that extra touch. That's the thing as well.
It adds a whole new layer to the sound and the dynamic.
A fantastic finishing touch to a metal song. It's when you make them the basis of a metal song that it can.
Hello, got an intruder. What?
He's disagreeing with me. He likes Nightwish, obviously.
Oh, Molly, get a life.
So yeah, no, we're all right with Kill Devil Hill.
Yes, no, I like it. It's you say as a triple threat to open the album, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
For me, this sort of raises the quality back up because, like I say, I think Soul Intruder suffered a bit, not because it was a bad song, but just where it came after Abduction. But this sort of puts it back up.
Right. So Navigate the Seas of the Sun. This is a nice little mellow number. I'm quite partial to a little mellow song in the middle of a metal album, which is basically about floating around in space and taking it into view. I think Planet Caravan is a prime.
That was a stoner. That was written by stoners, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I do actually prefer Pantera's version.
Oh, Pantera's version is fucking amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're going to do a cover, that's how you do it. I suppose there's no lyrics, but you got Sea of Cosmic Sea by Death, and obviously Orion by Metallica. But yeah, I think there's something about that. You can just sort of float about and look at, take in the colours and whatnot, and go.
Yeah, there's very much difference between, although Transylvania is an instrumental, there's very much difference between that and Orion. Transylvania is just full on fucking, whereas Orion takes you on this journey almost.
paints a picture with the melodies.
You've got your old peaks and your valleys, and it's pretty cool. I'm not, they both got value, they both got merit. But
no, some songs
different.
are just a jam.
Yeah.
Or they're a song that's so much is going on. It's like you just simply can't fit words to this. I mean, have you imagine trying to sing a melody over or some sort of vocal pattern over Transylvania? There's nowhere to hook. When you're writing vocals for a song, you've got to fit in the gaps.
That's it. Yeah.
Where's your cue on Transylvania? And if you go on YouTube, some people have attempted it.
Have they? Oh, I bet it's a row, isn't it?
Yeah, some people have attempted to box with a shark as well. But yeah, no. But so some sort of become that, and you just go, well, what should we call it? I'll just call it Transylvania. Whilst Orion, it was like, no, the title, that's your guide. Think the Orion. Now listen. So that's something to picture. And same sort of thing with the Death track I mentioned earlier. I think that and it's a perfect companion piece to Orion. There's also, again, you can go on YouTube and type in Orion. There's plenty of people that do those, when they get like a satellite camera and they go over the surface of another planet, or
and just play that as background music,
or just and that's the background and suits it perfectly, And this is one of those songs though. It's again, Bruce was listening to the music kind of thing, and he happened to be one of them, looking up at the sky, and I don't know if he was watching some sort of documentary or something, but the seas of the sun, it was something about the vapors or the flames,
the flares,
flare,
like waves and that,
And I think it was a line in the chorus. He just come up, he went, right, that's pretty good. I'll stick that right in the middle, and then it all just came from there, and that was how the lyrics came together on that one.
Yeah.
And I think it's a nice mellow track, a nice sort of mid-paced one. Doesn't really, I like it sort of goes a bit spacey and a bit Pink Floydy during the solo section as well. Nice bit of keyboard, nice little sort of flamenco guitar solo as well. And it's not up there with Gates of Horizon and things like that, but Change of Heart, but
I just think it's a bit dull.
Yeah,
I can see what it's trying to do.
It's a nice addition to the collection, but it's not.
And it sort of works as a mid album chill out, but and like I say, when you're trying to put it up there against Man of Sorrows and stuff like that, it's it hasn't got the bollocks. And it has a good go. There's some good bits of music in there and some good ideas, but I think 6 minutes is way too long. But but no, it tries, but it fails for me. And again, I don't think it's any fault of its own, really. I just think it's always, well, I don't know if everyone will, but I immediately try and draw those comparisons, and perhaps that's a bit unfair. But
I do try and judge things as they're, but
this is what led me to my thing to say earlier, where this is just like, it's just a bunch of riffs. What can you do this? Rather than 3 or 4 musicians in a room going, right, we've got this section here. Like, how can we, as a band would, rather than just a guy going, check your email. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, all right, yeah, and just sort of, instead of clipping and copying and pasting it together. And that's what I feel suffers a bit for it.
With that though, I think, he spins a lot of plates, doesn't he?
Oh, he does.
And I think he must have been into it. He must have thought this was worth his time.
Oh yeah, I fucking hell.
Yeah. And not only that, I would say, many a band would be happy with this album as their.
Fucking hell, yeah, it would be their fucking crown, jewel in the crown.
While we are comparing, the bar is pretty high.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not meaning to shit on it. Well, I don't think I am shitting on it. I'm just saying it's just not up to the level that we. But I think it's because this album didn't have to pay anyone's bills.
No, there was no pressure.
Bruce is back
we
in the day
did this
job
completely at our own leisure. It weren't.
Yeah, Bruce is back in a day job. I imagine Roy Z is doing a fucking million other things back in LA. producing or fucking with this band or that band or that band. So it was just a case of, and like I said, just scratching an itch. And I think it suffers because of that, because there isn't the fear. Fucking hell, we got to make this the best album ever, otherwise, they're going to take the car back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think it suffers from that. But again, if we didn't have such a high bar set, you'd be listening to this going, fucking hell.
Roy as well, completely. He really he really struck the big league as well, because obviously he did Chemical Wedding. Bruce goes back to Maiden, and then Roy does Halford.
Yeah.
So he does the first 2 Halford albums. So the 2 biggest frontmen in metal.
Yeah, in your 5 years, you've worked with the 2 most fucking well-known metal singers.
Yeah, but here's one thing as well. I'm not sure if you knew this. Halford obviously then goes back to Priest. Who produces Angel of Retribution?
Oh, was it Roy?
Roy Z, yeah.
Oh, right.
So he's got Judas Priest on his CV now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Andy Sneap getting Judas Priest on his CV. Roy Z doing it though, getting it. Yeah, that was sort of never really went for
it. I think it goes back to what you're saying. Bruce is spinning all these plates. I think Roy's spinning all them plates as well.
Yeah, I think Roy does generally stick to sort of classic rock vein of metal, whilst Andy Sneap's more, well, his roots are in thrash, aren't they?
Yeah, more extreme, isn't it? So.
Yeah, it was, and before he did Priest, he was doing like Testament and Megadeth and, Accept. Then he did Priest, whilst I think Priest they wanted a classic metal sounding album, and obviously Rob had a good experience with him, so then he got Roy the job that way. But I think he does cater probably more for the sort of LA style metal, shall we say?
Yeah.
Your Planet Rocks, and I think he is a guitarist. He's definitely a guitarist producer, isn't he? So he's focusing on that, catching that great solo and whatnot. Yeah. What song are we on anyway?
We're on number 6.
River of No Return. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, fucking hell, how Dio is this? As soon as it started, I thought Dio.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking hell. And another, I think Bruce he's cornered the market on soaring choruses on this album.
I'd like to see Dickinson do a tour, because they do chop and change singers according to who's available at the time. Ripper Owens is the main one, but that does... they do swap around, and I'd love to see Dickinson do you imagine that? Dickinson doing a front in Dio Disciples.
Well made, wouldn't it?
Won't be a long tour, but
no.
Yeah, I'd love to see him doing them. I mean, he does a lot of Deep Purple concerts.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, but it's not so much. I mean, Accent of Birth, time and time again, that made me think of Dio. This one, it's just got that 80s. It's got that bass, that dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
dun,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
oh yeah, big time. It was like, fucking hell, this could have been off, the classic fucking era albums, And
I mean, it's even a Sabbath. I mean, it's probably more Sabbath than like a track "Headless Cross" from the Tony Martin era. The riff is just dun 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 dun. Bang. It's just literally just. Well, it's got that Neil Murray, obviously, on bass. He was in Whitesnake. Cosy Power on drums. Dun, 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 dun. It's just... Manowar obviously mastered it as well, didn't they?
Yes,
that.
They did, yeah. The less said about them, the better.
I don't know much about them, to be honest. That is one band that's just over my head.
Strap your nuts to your leg and all that bollocks.
I have heard the first sort of half a dozen or so albums are really good though. I have heard the sort of they became a parody of themselves later. They weren't quite as I don't know how true that is, so I won't stick my neck out sticking up for them on that bit. But I've got it on good authority that the first so many are actually really good. No.
Yeah, no, I never wanted to. It was too metal for me. Fucking wearing loincloths and dressing like Conan. It's like no.
Yeah, there's only so far you can go with the, Dio dressed as a knight we can put up with.
Yeah, but when you wear
once the legs come out, nah.
But when you're wearing loincloths
even
and you're oiling yourself up and all that.
When you feel, what's his name from Def Leppard, you can go, oh, fair enough. If you got it, flaunt it. But once the legs come out, nah. That's one thing us British do not put up with. So, yeah. So, River of No Return, we have a nice Dio, Sabbathy, Manowari introduction. We've got the nice dun, 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 rhythm.
Yeah.
And it made me feel I got very big 80s vibes on this one.
Oh yeah, big time.
Then we get nice Chemical Wedding vibes though during the verses, because it all boils down, doesn't it? And even as
the verses were quite mellow, weren't they? Yeah, it's I can see it, but I think it's just the song don't really go anywhere. You know, you've got this brilliant intro, you've got this fucking chorus that just to the next level, but it's like, what does the song say? It don't. And again, it comes back to them. Oh, I've got this riff and I've got this riff. There you go. The solo section's weird as well because it sort of builds up into you think fucking hell, it's going to explode here, then it just peters out.
Yeah, because
it builds up again, and it's like what?
And it bam, 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 and it builds up. And all fucking hell's going to kick off now. Yeah, and then it just I get what you mean. Yeah,
and it's weird. Let's say the chorus is phenomenal, but it's just a patchwork song, really.
Yeah. So you think this sort of starts off all right, but then sort of peters out towards the end? Is that what you?
Yeah, it just it doesn't. It just doesn't speak to me.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's just a case of the fear isn't there, because I think if you put this album out, you do it, and then you listen to it again, and another set of ears might have gone. Well,
there's no consequence for this not performing.
No, there isn't.
It didn't need to perform, yeah.
And fucking hell, I'd like to be in that position.
It would sell itself to a point, regardless, because of fanfare and who's involved. But yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, it's some good riffs, great ideas, but it don't really do a whole lot. And
right, well.
And that sort of I can copy and paste that for Power of the Sun, really.
Yeah.
It's I don't like the way it starts or ends with that stupid vocal effect thing.
Oh, we're on River of No Return now, yeah? No?
Power of the Sun.
Oh, Power of the Sun, sorry.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could copy and paste. River of No Return.
Yeah, what is that all about? Because straight away you think, oh my god, am I on the bonus tracks? Is this some poxy remix? Yeah, do you remember when you had remixes?
Like, oh fuck, what is that like?
Yeah. What there was a phase, wasn't there? For B-sides and bonus tracks, you would get a remix.
Yeah.
No one ever wanted remixes. That was the one thing that you would get that no one ever asked for, wasn't it? It's like, and it was like what? It just wasn't this.
Yeah, it's just bollocks.
Beginning, and then he does it again at the end. You go,
yeah, I know. It's like, look, fuck off. But I mean, thankfully that they're pretty short-lived because
I do think
you got to fuck it. It gives way to a great riff.
I do think Bruce is probably in the vocal booth. Probably does a few exercises. Probably did that, and he probably just recorded one. And went, that's pretty good. Yeah, all right. Let's fuck about with him. And he probably just went, here you go. Look, this track.
Yeah,
he's probably chopped it up and paste it in the studio and just use it as an introduction, and Bruce probably laughed and went, yeah, keep it.
Yeah, he's like
it.
But again, this is another fucking another ridiculously catchy chorus with a riff underneath it.
This is actually a pretty good song, actually.
But again, it's just it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
There's so many good riffs and good ideas, but just not.
I can see this one being good live, actually.
Yeah, the chorus would bring the level up big time live, especially this chorus.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good little mid-set number. We've got maybe you've got an epic coming up, like a centerpiece of the track, but this is a good little taster to get. Yeah, I think it'd go down pretty well. I think the chorus would go down. There are songs where you're not too on the studio track, but then sometimes when you watch it live, it does suddenly click and you go, actually, this makes sense now. And I think this would be one of them. I'd put it in a live set.
Yeah, I would.
So,
onto
are you happy? Yep. Right.
Yeah, I'd say onto the excellently named Devil on a Hog.
This reminds me of a hog roast sandwich.
Yeah.
You know those big
time.
Sauce
I mean, is it just me, or does it?
I just
think of
I can see it on a board going Devil in a Hog place.
Yeah.
Yep. Hot sauce.
Yeah.
A bit of barbecue maybe. You know.
Yeah.
But
does the intro remind you of Corrosion of Conformity?
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
When I heard it, I was like, oh fucking hello.
What song was it actually? I think I meant to think. I made a mental note that it had that. We mentioned it before. Those bands, they were too heavy to be Brit rock, but they weren't metal. So Almighty, Wild Hearts are at the top, and then down. So sort of, I suppose, Gun, Little Angels. You get what I mean. Who was the band that you liked? Is it Skin Yard?
Skin,
maybe. Who was Skin Yard? Oh, was that Skin Lab? Skin Lab.
No, Skin Lab were fucking groove metal.
Yeah, but
Skin was who Dickinson he hooked up with when he recorded.
Skin Yard. Yeah.
Skin were the band that Dickinson first recorded Balls to Picasso with.
Oh,
one of the versions he threw out the window.
But you know what I'm getting at, didn't you? That.
Yeah.
You know. I've got quite into Little Angels recently, actually. I've just only discovered them recently. I always know who they were, but I never properly listened to them. But I keep hearing them, and I'm thinking, yeah, they're pretty good.
That weren't Ginger, was it?
No, that's the singer of Little Angels is now in Wayward Sons.
Ah, right.
Yeah. And Toby Jepson, guy.
Toby Jepson, yeah.
And he also did the British tour of Dio Disciples. So that guy can... anyone that can even half pull off a Dio song is all right in my book.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Anyone who does a Dio song and doesn't fuck it up, that's
you got to have the ability to not fuck it up, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's one of them benchmarks.
Yeah, no, he's very good. But I think this might be the song actually. There's a good little chorus in this, but it just kind of makes me feel like, yeah, this could have. Maybe if it was turned down in heaviness, this would be a pretty good radio track for someone. Yeah. Terrorvision was another good example of that.
Yeah, till they disappeared up their own arse.
Yeah, they were. I mean, in the 90s, the singles were quite poppy, but the tracks were quite heavy.
Oh, How to Make Friends and Influence People was a fucking brilliant album.
Yeah.
It's when it's the next album. What was the fucking song with Tequila, wasn't it? Or what was it fucking...
Well, they did Tequila, didn't they? But then Tequila was remixed by a DJ, and they preferred the remix. They went, actually, this is quite...
Fucking hell, it's just abortion.
Yeah, but it had radio play. It worked, didn't it? The only problem is the people that liked it went and bought the album, went, what the fuck is this rock shit? Yeah. So double-barreled on them. But do you know that song, by the way, Tequila, was based on the singer got pissed out of his head on Tequila and broke both his ankles on the way home. What a legend.
Tony, what a knob. Yeah. Tony Wright, wasn't it, I think?
Something like that,
yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think this song wouldn't sound out of place on Tattooed Millionaire.
Yeah, well, that was a rock album, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And it's just a good old-fashioned rock song, this. You know, no frills, just fucking boom. You could play it any go on a jukebox, and if it went on, I don't think anyone would really complain.
No.
And it's that sort of thing where you'd have death metalers and you'd have fucking people into blues would find common ground on this sort of song.
Yeah.
Because it's just got a good feel to it. It's got a good rhythm to it. And it's just, you know what, good old fucking head mover. I really like this song.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think we summed that up pretty well, actually. Yeah. Just a good no frills rock song that many a 90s rock band would have happily had it as a single. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just buried at the back end of an album that was put out as an afterthought, you know, and it's like you say,
yeah, exactly.
Most people would have been like, oh, fucking let me have it.
Yeah. So, Believal.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
Just like the title.
Yeah. I mean, it's another atmospheric intro. Roy Z seems to fucking... he pulls them out of his arse, doesn't he? These atmospheric, moody intros. And it kicks in, another fucking heavy chorus. And you got a monstrously heavy middle section with the keyboards floating around in the background. But I kept waiting for a solo that never came.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it to kick in, especially after that middle section where it's fucking well ever and you've got it jumping around the keyboards and that. I thought, right, here we go. It's going to be a proper fucking solo. And nothing.
Yeah, especially when you got that section because it sort of pauses, doesn't it? To with that little riff, and then it kicks in with that, and then the orchestral. That's
so good.
You'd think he would have done a nice little solo and then gone into that bit.
Yeah,
and that would have been
but no, that section is so fucking good. It's one of the best bits of music on the album.
Yeah,
but it just again another song that doesn't. Oh, it's so fucking frustrating. It just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's there. It's all there. All the ingredients are there.
All the riffs, all the fucking melodies, everything. It's all ready to be mixed in and baked and all that to 200 for 30 minutes. But
it
just got pulled out at 15 minutes and it weren't cooked.
Yeah. I really like this album until you started talking. Anyway, right. We'll come to the conclusion on.
And it goes the same thing with Tyranny of Souls.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the intro sort of just trots on way too long for me, but then it gives way to this fucking chorus. Like, such a fucking good chorus. I'm not going to try and recreate it because I haven't got the pipes. But just so good with the riffs and everything underneath it. It's fucking amazing. And it comes back in that intro riff that I didn't really like. When you put drums underneath it, it makes a good verse.
Yeah.
And it just builds up. I mean, that.
And we have a really good solo at the end as well.
Riff. What's that?
You get a good solo at the end as well.
Yes. Oh yeah, the solo. Fucking hell, it's awesome. I mean, and you've got. Yeah. I mean, the middle bit really it makes me think of Sabbath. I'm not into as much Sabbath as you are. Where you would obviously you're the authority on Sabbath from the people I know. But it's just saying something about it just reminds me of Sabbath, and I don't know why.
Well, you don't know what who was it who said that? The famous thing is any riff you wrote, you write. Tony Iommi wrote it before you.
Yeah.
You might be playing it backwards, you might be doing it faster, but he's the riff meister. But I'm not sure how true that is, to be honest. He's good, but no, I think it all comes from them one way or the other, though.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, you can always. You can always. They're always in the mix somewhere.
Yeah, they've got to be in there, especially for bands perhaps not so much for the bands like who come out nowadays or sort of in the 2000s because they would be there, but they would have been influenced by the bands that were influenced by the bands that were influenced by Sabbath.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're not going to hear a lot of Sabbath in Prostitute Disfigurement or someone like that, but.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the tail of the album for me.
That was a thing I saw actually with Steve Harris. They said about we're pretty heavy, and he go, I say we're heavy. Most of the bands that come out today, we sound like the fucking Moody Blues, but he's
a legend, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fuck it out.
We sound like the Moody Blues.
Fuck it out.
Right, so conclusion. I
mean, it's just 6 out of 10. It's just I summed it up. I used my analogy too early about it. All the ingredients are there, all mixed together and all ready to be baked, and it just comes out of the oven too early.
Didn't put any baking soda in.
It didn't rise. Yeah. There's some absolutely fantastic ideas on this. Some absolutely fantastic bits of music. Bruce is on fucking fire all the way through. Roy's on fire all the way through. It's just the arrangements have just sort of just not up to scratch for me.
Yeah, I think
it's a bummer.
If you look on my, we were saying, Tony Iommi is the master of the riff. If you look on my wife's Facebook, she is actually the master of the toad and hole. And yeah, you will. She has this thing, like in Family Guy. Don't touch the thermostat because Dad will know. And as soon as he touches the thermostat, the door opens. Who touched the thermostat? And then like it goes to the window, and someone across the road goes, "Is your thermostat been touched?" She goes, "Yeah, don't worry, I've dealt with it." Oh, okay. And my wife is like that around the oven. Don't open the oven door. If you open the oven door, all the heat will go. It won't rise. All right. That's it. And then if a fly buzzes around the thing, she tells you again. If you open the door, all the heat will escape. And she explains why you don't open the door time and time again. And anyone goes near the oven, even if you're just looking.
Yeah.
Well, fucking open. I was looking in. Yeah. And but so that's what it happened. I think someone might have opened the oven
just to have a look to see how it's getting on.
Just seeing how it's getting on. It's like you fucked it now.
Yes. Yeah. But it's such a shame because it's all there. It just.
I reached the same conclusion. I think I've come to the same conclusion as you, just come from a different angle. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It is a very solid album. Bruce Dickinson's 7 out of 10, though, is any other mere mortal's 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I do think a band would have this as their crowning achievement.
Yeah. And
would be happy with it to be their best album. It's kind of, if he, Bruce the man himself says he sees this as, the trilogy, then
way to argue.
I will compare it to the Cornetto trilogy. A lot of people say The World's End is the shit 1 out of 3. I actually think it's really good. It's just a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10 rather than a 9 or 10 out of 10. It's not as good as Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead, but it's still a fucking good film. And that's how I am with this. I think I keep in mind as well, it was leisurely made, so I am leisurely listening.
Yeah.
Really. And I enjoyed this a lot more in the last week or two. I always, again, the way it was made was the way I approached it. So I knew this was a bit of a side project. So I treated it as a side project as a listener. I listened to it enough to go, yeah, that's pretty good. And then it kind of sat on the shelf.
Yeah.
And I dug it out and paid a bit more attention to it. And I was like, yeah, actually, there's some good stuff on this. There are some good gems. And yeah, but it's not a, I'm not going to get over excited and go, this is the most underrated album. It's actually his best one. No. But yeah, it's a nice little thing to tide me over between Iron Maiden albums, which is what it was for him.
Yeah.
And in terms of atmosphere, I suppose you could say, yeah, it's definitely got the same sort of atmosphere as Accident of Birth and Chemical Wedding.
Oh yeah, they're definitely.
I want the full lineup for that. And I know as well, many a horror franchise or trilogy of films, that third one might have only half the original cast and a different director and half the budget. Yeah. That we've got to make it,
Yeah, but you look at that, Exorcist 3 was the best one of the 3.
That wasn't. Yeah, I'm thinking more like Phantasm.
Yeah, I never really got into them.
The last Phantasm album, it was a labour of love, and yeah, the effects were pretty bad, but it was all forgiven by the fans because it was like at least it got made because there was production hell basically.
Yeah,
but they were happy with look, we at least got to visualize what the intention was, and this isn't as bad as Phantasm 5 though. Fucking hell, let's not. But that was just the analogy I was using. The sequel with 1 or 2. Alien 3. There you go. But
yeah, mind you, Alien 3 is
Alien 3. What we were meant to get, and was, that's. I think this is Alien 3. It's not quite what we intended, but I was happy with what I got.
Yeah.
Okay. We should do a podcast on Alien 3.
Yeah, fucking hell, we be 7 hours long.
Yeah, and Alien 3, you can knock that film all you like, but it's no Covenant.
Yeah, but Covenant, that's for once Ridley Scott got bound to studio pressure.
Yeah.
There should have been a film in between Prometheus and Covenant.
How was that? We've gone completely off on one now. We'll have to carry this on the thing. But yes, right. We reached it. We're back. for good. We're not going anywhere. This will be out today, but then next Friday we will pick up where we left off, and next week we have got the other. Have you got a driller in your?
No, I've got some cunts riding bikes, so hopefully they will fall off and die.
Yeah, it's that time of year. I'm afraid there's people that insist on opening their windows whilst playing heavy bass music as well. Yeah. It's like, if you want everyone to hear it, mate, become a DJ.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
By all means, have a good time, but you don't own the road.
Yeah.
But here we go. But yeah, anyway, next week we have the later day masterpiece, or is it? Well, let's find out. Matter of Life and Death. Stay tuned for then. Until then, if you can give me one of them and share it with your mates.
Yes, please. Yeah.
I don't like asking it, but apparently, heavily you do have to ask. It is a thing. If you don't ask, you don't get. So, if you are watching, thank you very much. We appreciate you greatly. And you keep coming back. If this is your first episode, if you're new to the channel, go back to the beginning. Use us as your guide. Go get all the albums out and listen to them one by one, and either use us as an intro or use us as an afterthought. It's up to you.
You can skip the Diano ones, though, if you want.
The Diano ones, yeah.
Or the early ones, anyway.
And when we watch the killer ones, just mute Luke. And yeah. And on forward we go. So we'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.
Later.
Stay metal, stay safe, stay sane. Take care.